Try to keep it brief, but I will keep your attention, I promise. Now, I haven't heard too many people who've been in the mortgage business sitting down and talking to you. So my name is Mike Gill, and I own the Mortgage Specialists, and I've owned them for 26 years. Now, we were the #1 broker, not just only in New Hampshire, but in the United States, multiple years. In addition, Fannie Mae has recognized me, and I've done their training videos. So you could say I'm an expert in the mortgage business. Now, Mr. Perlow, who recently resigned. You may remember I just called him a drug launderer. He didn't dispute that. He resigned instead. Mr. Perlow, we spoke. Mr. Pappas, you brought up primary bank. Mr. Sununu, you brought up FRM. Well, you know who reported the scandal of FRM to the AG's office? Well, that would be myself. Right, 2007. You know who I reported it to? Assistant Attorney General Perlow. Isn't that interesting? Now, Perlow, by the way, is an insurance defender for McLean Law Firm. Now, seeing that we've taken this time to find out making the proper choice, how did an insurance defender become our banking commission? Because he was covering up the crimes of FRM. The crimes of FRM are important because it brings you into the corruption in the banking department, right? For instance, Mr. Little sits right next to Kevin Abart. Kevin Abart is the one who sponsored the bill for FRM. Except for if you remember, and I put it on stateofcorruption.org, if you're on notice, that I said the hearing was corrupted. And what did we have? George Lambert, who worked with Mr. Abart on the bill, confessing on a radio interview with me, telling the victims of that to be quiet. In fact, Mr. Sununu, I talked to Mr. Abart, and Mr. Abart was putting together a complaint along with mine to the Department of Justice. You talked him out of it. In fact, you had him put it to the AG's office. Now think about this. Well, I have text messages from I have the text messages with me. In fact, his exact words was, Sununu smells blood in the water. And when we're done, you can read them to everybody if you'd like. And Mr. Abart is not that aware for him, Mr. Sununu. And then Mr. Sununu, then you called Harry Bean the same day. I spoke to Harry. He said that you guaranteed him that Mr. Head wouldn't have a position on this council. Right? Harry Bean said that on the same day. No, I have those text messages. So this is a power play here. So now remember now, so Kevin Abart with FRM. What happened with FRM? Hildreth, the banking department, own brothers were on the Ponzi scheme. I reported it to Perlow.
You're going to make the nexus to Jerry Little, right?
Excuse me?
You're going to make the nexus.
Oh, this is what Mr. Little was with Mr. Abart and putting FRM complaint together. See, it is the move. So what happened? They canceled the hearing now, didn't they? They didn't make a decision on that. And this is the reason why. That isn't the way to the banking department. What's happening is the banking department in Perlow is protecting the crop, which involves the drug launderers. Granite State Credit Union, I called them up. Furley, Florida, who was the assistant banking commissioner during FRM, who became the banking commissioner afterwards, was accused of not going after and protecting the people. We just made him the CFO of Granite State Credit Union. Primary bank, front page of the Union Leader, right? They're not going to sue me. I just called them drug dealers. You know them, right, Mr. Pappas? In fact, you're friends with Mr. Angos, aren't you? Exactly. See what I'm saying? So they are protecting them. They're not federally audited. They're state audited. That's why. That's the secrets in the state comes out in there. And so the drug launderers are putting their money primary bank. They're not being audited. They're being